Hi everyone, welcome back. In the previous video, we are seeing how we can create threads, and I was telling there are two ways by which you can create threads. One is by implementing a runnable interface. Look at this statement, and other way is to extend the class called thread. There are two ways you can do it. Let us see the first one, which is implementing runnable interface. So you can construct a thread on any objects that implements runnable interface. Any object which what you call implements the interface called runnable. And to implement runnable, so please remember that the runnable is an interface. When I say interface, obviously which is going to have a kind of methods, certain kind of number of methods. So your runnable is having a method called run. Inside run, you define the code that constitutes the new thread, what the new thread is going to do it. So your runnable is going to say only there is a method called run. What run has to be do, what should be done, what should be not done, you have to write inside the run method. So let us see how it is. Yeah. So after you create a class that implements a runnable interface, you have to instantiate an object of type thread from within that class. So even though I said using implementing the interface called runnable, we can create a thread, but it's not that. After implementing runnable interface, you have to create an object of type thread within the class. So and what it does is which is going to call the constructor called thread. When it's obviously it is a, if class name is thread, your constructor name has to be thread, and this is what you call syntax for this. So thread is a class which takes two parameters. So this is the instance of class implements a runnable interface. Look at this, and second string is nothing but the name of the class. So new thread is created. It will not start running until you call its start method. So please remember this. As soon as you create a thread, which will never start until you start the method. And what the start is going to do is start is going to call a method called run. So this is all interrelated. So what I repeat, what you have to do is you have to implement the interface called runnable. Then in which class you implement this interface, there you have to create an object of the type called thread, and you have to call this constructor. Then you should call the method called start, and the start calls the run method. Let us see how it works. So this is a way, this is a class new thread which implements a runnable interface. And I was talking about this. Inside this you have to make a constructor. This is a constructor for the new thread, and t is equal to new thread. See, this is a constructor for your super class, and this is about the current. This always pointing to the object which has invoked the constructor object, current object. Demo thread is a name for this, and child thread, and t dot start. Start is the one which is going to call the run method. So when you create an new thread, you should have a run method, and inside the run method you are going to print the child thread from 1 to 5. After printing the one number, you are going to sleep for this many seconds, not you, yeah, statement. And there is an exception for this. Let us see other things. Yeah, so main method interpreted and main is going to exit. Let us see how this works. So this is what your main method, your thread demo. So please look at this statement. We have a new thread which implement runnable interface and which is having a constructor, and this is your thread demo. So inside this new thread, so look at this, you are going to create a new thread. So this is going to call the constructor called new thread. So it will go to the previous one, new thread. So inside this, actually this is a place you are going to create a new thread. T is equal to new thread, this demo thread. You have created a thread and you named it as demo thread. And child thread, which is going to print what is the name of the child thread, what is the name for this, which is demo thread. and t dot start, which is going to start this, which is going to print this. At the same time, what your main threads, because you are inside the main thread which is created automatically, and you need not to do this. So you are inside the main thread which is going to print the numbers from 1 to 5. Sorry, from 5 to 1. And in between you're going to print what is the value, main thread 1, 2, 3. Sorry, we start from 5 to 1, and even the main thread is going to sleep for these many seconds or nanoseconds. Let us see what output this is going to give. So when you execute this, you will have this. So child thread, so main thread is 5, child thread, so this will get repeated. And there is no guarantee like no, you will be getting this statement every time, because thread is there, and there is something called race. So both the threads will compete each other to complete this. So if you run this program 5 times, even all 5 times you'll be getting different outputs. And we have successfully created a thread, 2 threads using a runnable interface. So I hope you understood this. The next video, let us see how we can create a thread using a superclass called throwable. Thank you. Have a nice day.